So if you want to create a bone-shaking, nerve-striking marketing message that's going to slice right through the noise, just go right in front of your niche market, have your actual prospective clients reach out to you to get on a phone call and book them into a sales appointment, and then ultimately how you can close them in a more predictable fashion, then this video is definitely for you. How to actually craft a marketing message that's, stands out from everyone else in the marketplace, is not positioned as like another one of those, and how you can become that, expert authority, that power, that influence, where prospects are attracted to you and they actually take action on your message, on your marketing, and actually how you actually can book them into a qualified sales appointment to close more deals. Video, like I said, is going to be one of the most important videos that you watch to date because nobody talks about this, and I'm going to show you the expert secrets, things that I've learned through my experience and through just hours and hours of testing and studying, and how you can start to put this into action and get better results with your marketing. And especially when it comes to LinkedIn and actually solidifying your message on there and getting prospects to take action and book onto sales appointments with you. So you need to lay a strong foundation with your whole business and how you solidify your marketing message. And so it comes down to just three main components, which I've talked about before. I'll link a few videos down below, which will go into some things throughout this video that I talk about, and you can learn a little bit more about those, and a free training if you want to see that as well. But I'm going to show you the foundational things that are going to really help catapult you to that next level and really solidify your marketing message and get prospects actually to reach out to you to book a sales appointment. So if you can have a strong marketing message, everything else becomes so much easier in your business, and prospects are naturally attracted to those that produce the most value and that they can see are going to get the result. And so that's what I'm going to show you in this video. There are three things that you really need to have within your marketing message, and it really comes down to the fundamentals, right? So it comes down to your niche. So you must have a niche, right? So once you have identified your niche market, now you have to go a little bit deeper than that. And there's three components. You have your niche, and then you have the problem, right? And then you have the desire of your marketplace. And so once you understand your market and you understand the problem and desires, those are the main components that you need to have in place for your marketing message. You have to know these three things, and you have to pick a niche, go several layers deep, find a sub niche that you can exploit and become and climb to that expert authority in. Not just about what we think is their problem or what we think is their desire, because none of that matters. Like, if we stay inside our own heads, we will never actually understand the true buying motivators of our prospective clients. We'll always be solidified to our own preconceived judgments and ideas and never actually know for certain that this is their actual problem or this actual desire. Then once we understand these three components, because these are the main components of any marketing message. You have to know your market, you have to know their problem, and you have to know the desired situation that they want to get to. And so once you find this, we start to have to intensify it. So we have their problem, we want to intensify their problem and their desire. So we start to basically kick that bruised knee on their pain or their problem, right? And we start to intensify that. So pour some salt in the wound, make them really feel that this is a really painful problem that they need to solve. And then we start to make this, really desired situation, make it more colorful, make it more real for them, because we know exactly what they want. And the only way you really know this is by taking an objective viewplace of the marketplace. So stepping outside yourself, getting away from preconceived judgments and ideas that you have inside your own mind, and actually talking to the market, understanding them at that deep level. We don't really want to play to these fallacies or what we think is true. We want to know facts and actualities. We want to know what actually makes them tick, actually their actual problems and their actual desires, right? And so in just human nature and everything that human nature is motivated by two things, and it's pain and pleasure. If we can solidify their pain and their problem and their pleasure, that's what's going to help us, create that, magnetic energy that's going to help them see, okay, this is what I'm a specialist in, and I can help you alleviate your pain, and I can help you get you to your desired situation. Really, once you understand their desire and their problem, you want to kind of solidify the biggest one. So the most, the biggest, most powerful desire, the mass desire that your niche market has. So you want to start to understand that and figure it out. And the way you do that is, number one, is you want to understand the urgency. So what's the urgency of solving this problem or getting to their desired result? The intensity, and you basically want to see the demand to solve it. So how many people in the marketplace, in your niche market, actually want to solve this? And so you can write demand. And number 2 is the inability to become satiated or to really solidify and become satisfied at that highest level. So the inability to become satiated. So even if you can solve it, they're still going to be not satisfied. There's always going to be like more that they want, right? And so you want to find that. And the third one is the number of people who have this mass desire. So the sheer number of people who share the desire. So your market, they may have many desires. They may have many desires. They may have a desire to solve this problem, right? So they're going to have a mass desire to solve the problem and to get there to their desired reality that they want to get to, right? And so with these 3 questions, you want to find the most one that has the most power. That's going to really, hit all 3 nails on the head. So the urgency and intensity and demand of the marketplace, the inability to actually become satiated or satisfied at that highest level, and the sheer number of people who share this desire. If you can get those and really have this all 3 in alignment, man, this is what's going to help you really find a really powerful desire that's widespread through all the niche participants, that's going to help you to really pinpoint and how you can really show them this is how it can solidify and satisfy this mass desire which these niche participants have. Step outside yourself and do thorough analysis on your marketplace. And one thing that you could do is really talk to them, diagnose their problems. You could do this by getting on sales appointments. You can do this by actually researching, going into LinkedIn groups, going into forums, message boards, and actually just seeing what their problems is, reading some articles, reading some pain points, going on Quora.com is a good one. You can just really understand and really just do thorough analysis, and it's never ending. You don't stop this. Once you find this mass desire, you want to keep being on that cutting edge of how can I solve this better, and how can I really pinpoint and make my marketing message more sharp, and that's through iteration and improvements of your message. You really just want to always be getting an accurate scope and always seeing the landscape for what it really is. So get an accurate view, basically taking that bird's eye view snapshot of the whole landscape of your market and seeing what problems they have, what's their desired situation, what are their fears, all those things that are really important to have and really that you can pinpoint and really just press on and intensify is what you always want to be getting an accurate scope of the marketplace, right? And you also want to have that deep understanding. And like I said, it goes back to talking to the market and actually asking them and getting outside your own head and getting that whole landscape viewpoint of your marketplace and what their actual problems are. And so once you have these 3 things in alignment, once you have the niche, the problem, desire, you understand that, you actually know what it is for real and not what you think it is, now it's time to actually craft a value proposition that you can place this message, and really we're going to show you how to solidify this and put it into a sentence that is going to strike them, it's going to see your value, and it's going to show them how they can get their desired situation, and it's going to help them solve that problem. And so just hitting that pain and that pleasure and mixing them together, and that's what's going to get you a really potent message and help you really solidify your marketing message. So now I want to show you how to craft a strong value proposition. Once you know your niche, you know their problem for real, not what you think it is, but what their actual problem is, and you know the desired situation or their mass desire, and it could be the desire to solve that problem, right? So what is their biggest, most powerful mass desire that they want to solve or they want to satisfy? Understand that, and you do this again by understanding and talking to the market. There's no way that you could possibly know unless you talk to the market. I could ask my girlfriend, I can ask her, what do you want for dinner? What do you want for lunch? And I would have no idea unless I ask her, right? I can't just think, okay, I'm just trying to read her mind and think, okay, I know what she wants for lunch or I know what she wants for dinner. No, I have to actually ask her. And so you can just think all you want in your own head about what your market actually wants and what their actual desire is. But until you actually go and ask them and find out for real, get down to the heart of the matter, that's what's going to help you to understand and get for real. And like I said, actually build your marketing message off actualities and not these preconceived notions or ideas that you have in your mind. These abstractions that most people have, and it just clouds their vision and they're not able to see it for what it really is. Now I want to show you the value proposition formula that you can use to solidify your marketing message, really just get your market to see what you are, and this is how you provide value. This is how you project your value and show your value to your niche participants within the marketplace, right? Basically the formula goes like this. So as we talked about, they always want to be solving their problem and solidify that mass desire. So the first point is they want to solve problem times get their desired result so this is their desire times your point of difference. And this is your value proposition. And so there's three components of it. That it's really as simple as that. And your point of difference at the end of the day is what makes you different from the marketplace. What makes you different from all the other marketers or all the other coaches or all the other consultants or all the other financial advisors or whatever you're doing. What makes you different than them? And if you can't say that and you can't put into a sentence like, I can help you solve a problem, get your result through my point of difference, then you're not going to have that influence and you're not going to have actually get your market to take action, right? So this is how you even create value, present your value. And so this is really the formula to actually creating that value proposition. And this is a very, very powerful formula because if you can actually present your value in a way that, look, I can show you how to solve this problem, actually get your desired result and that mass desire, which you most definitely want, as I know you want it because you told me that you want it, and you solidify your point of difference, that's what's going to help you stand out in the marketplace. And to craft a really strong value proposition, you must know your prospect's state of awareness. So going back to our formula, you have the solve the problem, right? Times get result or desire, times your point of difference, you need to understand your market's state of awareness. If you don't know your prospect's state of awareness, you could be showing them, okay, what's their problem? Do they even know that they have a problem, right? Do they even know that this is a relevant problem in their life? Do they even know that this is the result that they really want? And is this the point of difference? So the method that you're going to be using, has it been used by many people, right? So you have to understand where is your market at and go from their perspective. What is their state of awareness based on your product and service and how your product and service can actually solve this problem and get them to the desired result. Like for example, does a financial advisor know that Facebook ads can get them results? I mean, maybe now over time because they started hearing it more, their state of awareness has now amplified. But at the beginning, they're maybe like, oh, my market's not on Facebook ads. And a lot of the marketplace, they may even still think that, right? So you have to understand from your prospects and your niche market's perspective and their point of view, do they even know that these things exist? And it goes back to talking to them, but still the prospect may not know. And so you have to really dig deep. And then once you can really solidify that and put it into words, that's what's going to help them see, okay, I do actually have this problem and I do actually have this desire. And oh shit, this can actually get me to my desired result. And that's what's going to help them like click in their brain. And that's what I call cracking the code. And they're going to see. But it comes down to your state of awareness. So the 3 questions that you really should be asking yourself in this whole process to actually solidify your value proposition and also like craft a really strong marketing message is 1, it goes down to what is the mass desire. So you have to really solidify that. And I know we talked about that a bunch now. But what is that? Crystallize it and write this down. So what is the mass desire of your marketplace? Of your niche, right? And number 2, it goes into how much of these people today do they know that your product or service can actually satisfy this desire? And this is their state of awareness. So how aware are they that your product or service can satisfy the desire? That's the most important thing. And number 3 is what we're going to get into, which is your prospect's state of sophistication. So how many other products or services have been presented to them before yours, right? So the last one is their state of sophistication. So how many other products or service, how many others basically have pitched this to them? And this goes down to their state of sophistication. And I know the writing's messy, but one of the things that you have to understand is, like, what is their state of sophistication? This goes back to what I was just talking about, which is, do they even know that Facebook ads can help them get that result, right? And if they do, then how sophisticated are they on that topic? Like, do they know a lot about Facebook ads? Do they know, okay, I can do like landing pages, I can do webinars or whatever? Or does LinkedIn, does that actually get me my result? Like, can I actually use LinkedIn to get qualified sales appointments, right? So what's their state of sophistication? Understand this. And understand it from their perspective. Like, how many other people have pitched this? How many other market participants and other marketers or even just businesses are out there, trying to sell the same thing to this marketplace to try and solidify this desire and this problem that they have. So the very first vital step in this process is understanding this mass desire, is really understanding it and seeing it for what it really is, recognizing it and making them recognize it from their perspective. And then it's just about intensifying. So intensifying that desire or that pain or problem that they have, and basically intensify this. So really, like I said, kick that bruised knee, show them this can actually get them that desired result, and really paint that picture and show them that this can be real for them. And then it's just directing them to the solution to your problem. So channeling it towards your product or service in a way that's still getting the point of difference across, right? That you're different from everyone else. And that's the next point I want to get into, which is how do you actually come across and actually present your point of difference and you stand out from the marketplace? So your competitive advantage, like, what does that look like? How do you actually, solidify that? How do you create a competitive advantage? And how do you not look and sound like everyone else in the marketplace and really just dominate this point of difference and really have a strong value proposition that you can present in front of your market? Mass desire, that's the biggest important thing. Also, the niche is really important because from the niche stems the desire and the problem. And then you want to intensify the desire, get that really prevalent in the forefronts of their minds and your mind, so you always are fixated on presenting that to them and not your own preconceived notions like selling Facebook ads, instead just selling their desired situation and the mass desire which they want, and how you can alleviate their pains or problems, and how you can pitch it in a way that they've never even seen before. And so that's what I want to get into right now, which is how to actually position this through a new mechanism, or what I like to call a proprietary method. At the end of the day, your market, they've heard all the claims, they've heard, that in all aspects, they've heard the exaggerations of, Facebook ads, I got like $300,000 a month on Facebook ads or whatever, and it's just being repeated into their forefronts of their minds, and it's being exaggerated. And they just become like numb to it. At the beginning, Facebook ads, people always they still want it, but it's now they become more numb because so many people are pitching it, right? So that's one aspect. And so what this market needs, when your market's in this state of sophistication, so this is the later stages of sophistication, that they know the problem, they know that this exists, but now they become numb to it. It's too generic and too many people are pitching it. Now what you need is a new mechanism to make all these claims become fresh and believable again. And this is how you do it. You do it through a new mechanism or a proprietary method. Let me show you what this is. So you need a new mechanism. Or, like I said, what I call a proprietary method. So it's proprietary to you. No one else can actually get access to it, or they can't really use it, right? And so this is a very, very powerful concept, because once you can position it in this way, like I said, it knocks down those 3 dominoes. It shows in your value proposition that, okay, this is I'm going to show you how to solve the pain or problem. I can help you get your desired result, and I can do it through a point of difference. So how I'm different than everyone else, and you do this through your proprietary method. And basically, at the end of the day, what it is showing them how they can get this result through a new vehicle, basically. A lot of you guys, you'll know Frank Kern. So Frank Kern does this now. I used this before when I was marketing to financial advisors, and it worked wonders. So Frank Kern, he, instead of selling like paid ads and VSLs and webinars, he now sells intent-based marketing, which is basically a similar thing, but he just calls intent-based marketing because everyone else out there is selling Facebook ads, selling webinars, selling all these things that he used to sell, and now the market has become numb to it. So he needed to put in a new proprietary method or a new mechanism in place, and so he now shows, I can help you get your desired result, solve your problem through intent-based marketing. And so it now becomes believable, and it's like, okay, this is a logical thing, but it's basically the same thing. He still shows Facebook ads, he still does sends them to VSL, sends them to a webinar, he still does the same thing and does paid advertising on Facebook, but he just calls it something different. And what I did was I went from selling LinkedIn marketing and sales funnels to these financial advisors, and I started to sell them on my AUM. So AUM in their language, which is another point I'm going to get into, is using language of your market to actually solidify this. And so AUM stands for Assets Under Management, but I called it something else. I had an acronym based on AUM Acquisition Formula. So I had the AUM acquisition formula, and it became believable again. So even though when everyone else was selling, oh, I'll help you do this through LinkedIn marketing, or I'll help you do this through Facebook ads and funnels, what I was doing is I was telling them, look, I can help you get high net worth clients through my AUM acquisition formula, and they want AUM and they want to acquire that. So I solidified that, and then I turned it into a process. And then what you can do is once you have this proprietary method or new mechanism, you can then explain everything that is involved into it. So you can explain the Facebook ads, you can explain everything, but after, this is just to get to their attention, craft that value proposition that they're actually going to take action on, because if they become numb to it, you're never going to see your value or capture it long enough for them to see your value to actually generate into a sales appointment or to watch your webinar or to watch any videos that you have. So you need to have some sort of like a mechanism to attract them to you, right? And I like to call it a proprietary method because this is proprietary to me. No one else in my market is selling this. And so you want to come up with your own mechanism or proprietary method within your business so that you can solidify this. Everything that we talked about, your value proposition, your mechanism, your point of difference, and your niche market and their desires and the mass desires, and how you can start to put that into a formula that you can use specifically if you want to use this for LinkedIn marketing and getting your message out there, getting people to take action on your message and actually book into a sales appointment. This is really where it's prevalent and where it's going to help you stand out and really help you get really, really solid results. But you can also use this in any other forms of your marketing. You can put this on your Facebook page, put it onto your website, whatever you want to do with this. But it's going to help you solidify and really break this down into its core first principles and really help you to, solidify that market message and become, really a expert authority within your marketplace. So this is what I call your value statement. So mixing your value proposition into a statement, right? And so this is what the formula that you can use, and it's a really, really killer formula, and it's gonna help you put this into words and really help you solidify this. And it's basically just presenting your value proposition relating to how it can solve their niche's, deepest painful problems and get them to the desired result through your new mechanism or proprietary method. And that's what your value statement is. And so basically the formula goes like this. I help niche to get result or to solve problem and get result through your new mechanism. And so this is a very, very powerful formula that you can use on LinkedIn specifically, or you can use it, like I said, anywhere else that you want to. But let's just fill in the blanks here. So if you, whatever your niche you're in, so say you're helping accountants, right? So I help accountants right? So say your niche is accountants. I help accountants, so your niche, to solve problems. So I'm just gonna give you an example here. I don't actually know. You'd have to do your research. But find out, okay, what is this niche's most painful problem? And just from just some things that I know is they really struggle with getting on qualified sales appointments and closing new deals, right? So that's their problem, and then that's their desire, is closing, high value clients. So basically, you want to say, I help accountants to solve problems. So let's just say their problem is get qualified appointments, right? To get qualified appointments and get desired results. So their desired result, so accountants, depending on the type of accountant, whether it's a tax accountant or whatever it is, find out what types of clients they want. What's their actual desire? Because they may want to get a client and close a specific type of client, right? So that's going to be the desire. They don't just want any type of client, they want a specific type, right? So you want to understand that. And for example purposes, let's say they want 1 to 3 outsourced CFO clients, right? So let's say that. Outsourced CFO clients per month. So per month, that consistency of getting new clients every single month through, and then your proprietary method. So I'll just come up with something on the spot that you can use. It's just an example. But let's just say the accountant storytelling system or a process or whatever, right? So I help accountants to get qualified appointments and get 1 to 3 outsourced CFO clients per month through my accountant storytelling process or system, right? And so that's going to be a really potent message when you're going to your market. So you could just, fill in the blanks here and have your market. So on this side, I help niche to get result, solve problem, and get results through proprietary method, and then just fill in the blanks there. So actually understanding, actually talking to market, actually understanding their problem which they want to solve, actually understand the desired result which they want, and your new mechanism. And it has to be believable. It can't be some phony thing that everyone else is kind of talking about, or that they won't believe. That's like this guy's just lying, or what is that? It's not even real, right? So you have to understand this can't be some fake thing, right? This makes sense, accountant storytelling process. Mine made sense because AUM, which is assets under management, which is what they wanted, acquisition formula, right? AUM acquisition formula. And you can come up with your own, right? For our business, we basically help people leverage LinkedIn to automate the process and get qualified sales appointments and scale their business, charge higher value, get higher value clients, get higher value retainers if they're doing, monthly recurring services. And we do this through our Executive Advantage system. I don't just say LinkedIn, I say Executive Advantage system, and then when you dive deeper, it's LinkedIn. But you do it in a specific way, and you do it through, coming up with your value statement, you do it through the messaging, you do it through the follow-ups, you do it through retargeting, all these different things. And so it's not just that, right? And so once they understand, and once they come in, then they can understand the components of it and how it actually comes to fruition and how it's different than everyone else's, right? But at first you need to track them through your proprietary method or your new mechanism, and that's how you do it, through this value statement. And it works really, really well on LinkedIn. I mean, if you just use this after you connect, you're going to get some really, really amazing results. You always want to be fixated on the desired reality. So the desired reality of your market is the biggest thing. You always want to be looping back, really staying fixated and having their minds fixated and yours on that desired reality. And so whatever their mass desire is, always be fixated on that and always show them how you can solve that or help them satisfy that desire. That's the biggest thing I want you to understand, is always looping back and showing them how you can solidify and solve these two. These two are the biggest things. The niche is a really important aspect because from the niche, it stems these two, right? And so once you understand the niche, it's all about this. right? Because you can have these two and show them how to solve it, and then you can have a decent, mechanism, or you can even say Facebook ads. It may work here and there. You're still going to get results because you're really focused on these two, which are the most important components. Really, the mass desires of the marketplace are the most important pieces of this puzzle. Get those right, and your message will, significantly skyrocket, and you'll get way better results. But putting this piece into it and really go deeper into actually the types of clients that they want and the actual desire that they want, is your message is going to become infinitely more powerful, and you're going to get way better results, more sales appointments, and get more clients out of it by using this. And so it goes down to just understanding and answering these questions. What is the niche market? What's the niche? And what's the sub-niche? So going deeper into that, because it could be accountants, but it could be specific type of accountants. Find that type of accountant in that sub-niche that you can exploit. And then it's, what's the main problem? What's the main problem that you're solving for them? And it goes back to what I talked about with, the intensity, the urgency, and the demand of the marketplace. And that goes into product market fit, which I've talked about in other videos before. But understand that. What is the main problem that you're helping them solve? Distill it into one main, painful, gnarly problem that they want to solve. And then you want to go into the desired situation. What is the desired reality of your niche market, and how can you solidify that? How can you solve that problem? What is this desired situation? Make it colorful, paint that picture for them. And then the last piece is basically your proprietary method. What is your proprietary method? Come up with your own proprietary method or new mechanism that you can put into place and start to market to your prospects, so they're not hitting with the same old generic message, and they're not numb to this process, and they're actually prevalent to getting on the phone with you and understanding and learning more about your process and how this new mechanism or proprietary method can help them solve problem and get their desired result. The last piece of this is it goes back into direct response marketing. So this is the essence of direct response marketing, is understanding these components. Obviously, you would elaborate more into it in your ads, in your video sales letters, in any marketing pieces that you want to do, organic content, all of that stuff. But it has to elicit a response. So just by placing this message, you'll get people to perk their ears up. Their spines will be standing up straight, and you'll just knock them right in the chest and say like, "Wow, this is exactly where I want to get to," and "Wow, I've never seen this before. I want to learn more." But you have to have some sort of call to action or elicit a response from your marketplace. So once you get in front of the niche, you have to actually then elicit that response and get them to know like, this is exactly what I want to solve, and actually get them to take action. So it's just not about putting this message. You have to get them to take action and get them to respond. And for LinkedIn specifically, we optimize for responses and conversations. So we're trying to get them to converse with us so that we can go and redirect and book them into a sales appointment, right? And so that's the biggest thing, is optimizing for responses. And the way you do this, and it goes into like really deep psychology, and I've done inside my program, I've really done some deep psychology on the messaging and how you actually get them to respond through questioning. Questions are the most powerful things you can use. After you say this, you then ask a question. Like, "John, I don't know, would you wouldn't want 1 to 3 outsourced CFO clients per month, would you? Or would this be of interest or benefit to your business, John?" Or some of these questions that they're going to say an obvious automatic response in their mind is going to fire that neural network, and they're going to be like, "Yeah, wow, this is exactly what I want." It's going to be automatic response in their brain, and then that's what's going to trigger that action and that behavior to actually respond to you and set up an appointment, right? So you want to be asking questions after you state this, because now they're in a state where this is exactly what I want. And then you ask a question basically reiterating that, like, "Do you need any help with this?" They're going to be like, "Of course I do." And then that's what's going to get your message to be actually responded to. And so questions are so powerful. And like I said, it goes into the mind of the prospect and just people in general. We're hardwired to answer questions. So you must elicit a response from your marketplace. And like I said, this is the most prevalent on LinkedIn, to getting someone to respond to you, converse with them, because on LinkedIn, the more conversations, and really any prospecting, but the more conversations that you have, the more sales appointments you will book, and the more sales appointments you book, the more you will conduct, and the more sales appointments you conduct, the more clients you will get and the more money you will make. It's as simple as that? Those are the questions you want to ask the prospect. You know, do you need help with this, or would you want this, or do you need help solving this problem, right? And you know it's an automatic, you know, response in their mind that's going to say yes. And that's how you're going to get elicit response and book more sales appointments. And the last piece of this is not finite. This is not, you don't just crack this one time and okay, you're done. You just, you know, go sit on the couch and just wait for messages to pour in, wait for booked sales appointments, and, you know, your bank account to start piling up. That's not how this works. And you must always be iterating these components, these key components, the niche, but it goes back to the market feedback cycle. I've talked about this before, but the market feedback cycle is the most important thing. Once you understand your niche, their problem, their desired result, and your new mechanism, you want to keep these variables kind of consistent, and then just iterate one or two of these variables and always sharpening that sword, always, you know, iterating the message, always improving it and making it better. And that's what you need to understand, is it's going to be always in that feedback cycle of you get feedback from the marketplace by talking to more people. So this right here is going to get you on the phone with people. You're going to diagnose their situation. They're going to tell you their pains, problems, desires, what they're going through, what their desired result is, and, you know, through your method, and through that method, do they book and do they actually become a client or not? And if that happened and you took them through that sequence of events and you got paid for that, that's how you know your message has been verified and your offer has been basically confirmed by the marketplace because they paid you money for it, right? The only way that this really is going to just verify itself is when the market actually pays you in proportion to this value statement and how you can get them this result, right? And so this is the most important thing, and just keep feeding it back into a feedback loop that's going to always be sharpening and getting this way more powerful and more potent, right? And you could learn a little bit more about their problem. Like, maybe they get qualified appointments, but maybe closing the actual clients once they get that appointment, right? And then actually getting these clients onto the phone, so specific types of clients that they maybe want, put it back through that feedback cycle to continuously sharpen that sword, sharpen your message, get this more on point, and this is what's going to help you get exponentially better results with your marketing message. So if you like this video and you want to learn a little bit more, I'll link a few more videos below in the description. So I go into the market feedback cycle, how to pick your niche, how to understand them at that deep core level. And I'll also link a free training which goes into a lot more depth on this, and as well as the full LinkedIn system on how to generate qualified booked appointments in your calendar without spending any money on ads, without sending cold emails, any of that, how you can charge those higher value clients, get more of these qualified appointments, and really just charge even higher value retainers if you want a marketing or advertising or social media marketing agency or anything like that. I'll link that below. You can go check that out, and if it's something you want to do, you can go and book a strategy session below this video as well, and we can talk and I can walk you through this and how I feel this would work for you, and if we're a good fit, I'll walk you through our system. And so that's it for this video, and if you liked it, go click that like button, subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.